today, I'm going to be shot at. So I need some serious protection. Ever since the bow was introduced for warfare, armour has been developed to protect against it. But it's a balance of advantage. You can wear this heavy mail to try and protect against arrows, but it makes it more difficult to move and to fight. The usual arrowhead for warfare was this, the broadhead, wide and flat. Now this could only puncture mail at close range, but if it hit the flesh, it would slash a wide and deep wound. This head is long and thin. This was the one to use against mail. Now, I'm not taking any chances today, so I'm wearing full plate over the mail armour. And when plate came along, this arrow was introduced with a simple bodkin point that could puncture armour. Whatever the type of arrow you were hit with, if you were hit hard, then you were out of the battle. And don't believe what they say in the Hollywood movies. You cannot fight with an arrow inside you, but you can certainly die, which I do not intend to do today, so I'm putting on every bit of armour I can.
Here's what I have in mind. Our 10 archers are now up to speed. Like their medieval counterparts, they can shoot perhaps 5 aimed shots per minute at the straw target at the end of the range. But even a poorly trained lout could shoot faster if ordered. Say, 12 unaimed shots in a minute. A general volley like that could do well against a large target, like a mass of infantry or cavalry. The archer could shoot at his target in 2 ways, at an elevation and straight. In theory, the bowman could loose 2 arrows to arrive on target simultaneously. 1 up, 1 straight. Multiply that by 10 archers and you have 20 arrows arriving on the target within a few seconds of each other. Ouch. But a straw target is hardly the game our team is after. They've heard of my plan, and after all I put them through, who can blame them for wanting a piece of my hide? Even if they are shooting rubber-tipped arrows, and even if I am wearing 60 pounds of armour.
They're incredibly close. Is that it? If you measure this... Ready! Prepare! Let's hold it there for a moment, shall we?
Before we go on, let's not forget that the armoured knight on the field worried less about archers and more about other knights on horses. So today's exercise, 10 archers against lonely me, isn't quite complete.
Of course, they won't be shooting at just one man. They'll be shooting at a densely packed mass of us. Come on. Now, we can stay spread out like this, but if we do that, our unit loses cohesion and strength. If we stay spread out, and they have any cavalry, well, they'll ride right through us, cut us to pieces. So, we have to bunch together. Form up. Now, in this closely packed mass, we at least have some protection against cavalry. But we're the perfect target for those archers. Any minute now, they're going to start rapid fire. 10 of them, firing 1 arrow every 5 seconds. In 1 minute, 120 arrows are going to arrive on the target, which is us. Shields up!
On each side, the tension mounts as we wait for the battle to begin.
Advance!
Now, we have to stay closely packed together. As the arrows come in, we must keep discipline. We can't charge them yet. If we do, we'll arrive exhausted. We have to be fresh when we get there. 1 or 2 of us may go down, but most of us will arrive intact. And once we do, those archers are going to be made into soup. Charge! Now, in theory, archers should always have the advantage. They're light troops, highly mobile, they can pick off their target at a distance, provided they are first-class men with the finest equipment. But archers were usually poorly fed, badly paid, poorly trained, and utterly lacking in motivation. In theory, 10 good archers should pick off those men before they got here. But it doesn't quite work like that. Because I'm scared, and I'm hungry, and I'm on lousy pay, and they're getting closer. And the man beside me has just run away, and I know that if I don't join them, then I'm going to die.
So how do you win as a combat archer? You do it by choosing your own turf. Remember the forest? There, the trees acted as obstacles to hinder the knights and give the archers plenty of places to hide. On open ground, you'd need to have extraordinary skill to win against armor. The kind of skill that requires a lifetime of training that our team just didn't have.
First-class archers, like the English longbowmen, could decisively win battles, but they were the exception, not the rule. Archers needed discipline, training, respect. Most importantly of all, they needed protection, a force of cavalry or infantry who could move in to screen them from attack. Throughout most of history, they got none of these things. They simply weren't considered important enough. Our combat team have learned to shoot the bow in a very short time. They've also learned something else as well. If there's one place on the medieval battlefield that you don't want to be, it's among the archers.